Hey, how's it going? Thanks for joining me. Welcome to another story time. Thanks for visiting the channel. Thanks for showing up, being here. We can experience this story together. Um, Today's story is not quite as iconic, nor is it probably as long of a story, but I figured after the candy pizza story, um, I was due a shorter story time. Um, this is not a happy story, uh, but I suppose neither was the candy pizza story. So, yeah, we're gonna just kind of jump into it. So, as you guess by the title, um, this video has a little bit of something to do with Nair. If you don't know what Nair is, Nair, it is a hair removal product that is most commonly used on one's legs. Women use it for their legs, or people who are swimming or whatever. It's basically just a hair be gone cream. You put it on there, and it essentially burns the hairs away. There's like a chemical in it. I haven't done much research on it. There's like a chemical in it that just kind of burns the hairs away, and it can be painful if left on too long. With all that in mind, let me set the stage. I was probably early 20s, if not like 20, and I was in college. And I was lucky enough to be in college in the same city that my parents lived in. Now, that may or may not have been because my parents moved to the city that my college was in after I graduated high school, but that's besides the point. So I was able to kind of be there, and I'd go home on the weekends, and it was really fun because it was like a 10-minute drive back to my folks' house. So it was very nice, a good escape for college, from the week and stuff like that, and it's just nice to have your family around. So there I was at home one day, and my mother, who will be another main player in today's story, she noticed while I was sitting at the table I was doing homework, right? Because I went to school for engineering, which meant I had all the time in the world, and it was all spent doing homework. So I was sitting at our kitchen table, and I was doing some homework, and my mom noticed that I was a few weeks into growing my beard. Now, I don't know if you could tell just by looking at me, or maybe you just have some sort of sixth sense, but I cannot grow a beard. It is some sort of weird. I don't know what it is, because my dad can grow a very good beard, more of a goatee than anything, but still, I mean, I can't even do that. My brother, he can grow a goatee. It doesn't quite look as good as my dad's. Sorry, bro. But I thought maybe I'd get some of those genes too. Maybe I'd be able to grow a beard or something, just anything. I think even if I could, I'd probably prefer to stay just baby faced, because one, my wife prefers it that way, and therefore I prefer it that way. And two, it's just beards feel like it's a lot of upkeep, and I generally don't care to. I've been blessed with naturally easy hair to take care of on the top of my head, and so having to take care of a beard and mustache combo, I just don't feel like that'd be something for me to deal with. I mean, I can barely take my medication on time every day. How am I supposed to keep up with a beard? And probably the third thing, it's just too itchy. I mean, if you can grow a beard and you like it, great, keep it. It looks great on you, probably, maybe. But for me, it doesn't look good. My wife doesn't like it, and it's way too itchy. So when she noticed that I was in full growth of my beard, it means that I had a bunch of random tiny black hairs all over my chin and my neck. Yes, unfortunately, I am a neck beard if I don't shave, and therefore I must shave. But yeah, so she commented on it, and she's like, essentially, and she didn't say this verbatim, but she essentially was like, looks ugly. Shave that thing. And I told her, of course, I was planning on it, but at that point, I was shaving probably like twice a week. Not because I had to, because then it wouldn't look good anymore, but just because if I let it go too much farther after that, I don't know, I was uncomfortable with it because it scratched up my neck and made it really itchy. So shaving twice a week, it was too much. I didn't really feel like it anymore. I didn't want to do it anymore. And being an engineer, or at least graduating with an engineering degree, I kind of have this like propensity to always look for an easier way to do something. Not in any sort of practical sense, Lord no. But just like I'm also lazy. So if there's a way for me to do something, that means that like you have to do a bunch of prep work or something, but in the end it's like 5% easier. I'm taking that route every time. It's a weird kind of lazy where I'm going to be so productive so that I can be lazy instead of just being averagely productive and getting it done the first time. I was like, but I really don't want to. Shaving it takes so much time and you have to put all that goop on your face, and I don't really want to have to do all that because it takes 5 minutes and I'm too lazy to do that. So she goes, well, I have this is the turning point in my story. You may notice a few turning points throughout the stories that I tell you. This is definitely the turning point. Up until now, it was just a gripe, but it was right here and now that the story went from okay to very, very bad very quickly. She was like, well, I have this thing called Nair. And what it does is it's like a cream. I use it for my legs, and you can use it for your face. She suggested that I use it for my face. She has experience with it. I have none. I thought, okay, I'll trust her. Why not? Something I can just slap on my face and it's A-okay, good to go. I'm free, don't have to shave. I can just slap it on before a shower and then rinse it off. By all means, let's do that. Let's put Nair on my face and neck. So I had to take a shower anyway. I thought I might as well do it now. I go and get her bottle of Nair, look at the front of it where it has the picture, and say, okay, that's all I need to see. I do not need to check the back for instructions, warnings, really kind of cautionary statements of any kind. Pfft, screw that. Just slap this on my face. It'll be fine. It was not fine. I kind of realized I made a mistake the second it touched my face, but at that point I was like, in for a penny, and just kind of slathered it all over. I was like, I'm sure it'll be fine. My mom said it's gonna be fine. She wouldn't steer me wrong. So, yeah, I'm standing in the bathroom, about to get into the shower, and I just slap it on my face for a good bit too. I got like a hefty handful. Like, when you like squirt a big old glob of shampoo? It was like that, but with Nair. So you'd think, Richard, that must have hurt quite a bit. But it couldn't have been that bad. I mean, well, you got in the shower right away and rinsed it off, and it burned a little bit, but you'd be fine, right? No, that's not what happened. You see, when my mom suggested the Nair, she said, verbatim, put it on your face, and I'd wait about 10 minutes before you rinse it off so that it has time to set in. So there I stand, in the shower for 10 minutes. My face, by like the 2 minute mark, I knew that this was going to be bad. But I thought, okay, it'll still be fine. It will be okay. And it was at that point where, like, instinct should have kicked in. I should have been like, nah, get this crap off my face as fast as possible. It is burning me chemically. Get it off my face. Didn't do that. I did not do that. Instead, I thought, in for a penny, and waited a little longer. And about the time the 5 minute mark hit, I was like, well, this is going to be excruciating. But is it better to rinse it off now and potentially have to redo this process? I mean, I was already halfway done. I might as well just wait the whole 10 minutes and be done with it. Not knowing the outcome. Not knowing the side effects, I decided that would be the best course of action. I'm already this deep, might as well just finish it up. So I did. I waited 10 minutes. By the end of the 10 minutes, I was very nervous. About the 7 minute mark, I decided to test my theory a little bit, take a little bit of water in my hands and just kind of, just barely rub my face with like that. I was almost brought to tears in that moment, and that's not a joke. That's not an overstatement or just I'm playing it up for the camera. I literally almost cried. I don't remember the last time I cried. I don't cry very often. It's just not something I do, and I almost cried just then. And it was at that time where I was like, I need to get this off my face as soon as I possibly can. But I was too scared, nervous, terrified to stick my face in the water because I thought I'd just mentally break down and just maybe faint. And so I put it off and I put it off and I put it off, and I was like, well, I can't leave this stuff on forever because then it'll just eat through my whole face like acid. I need to get out of this shower so I can tell my mom what for. So I just got nerves of steel, and I was like, okay, here we go. It's going to happen. I'm going to do it. And I just took a big old, put my two hands together like a bowl and just splashed water into my face. I did cry. I did cry. It was rough. It hurt like crazy. It felt like battery acid was getting poured onto my face. Have you ever broken open a glow stick and accidentally got some of that stuff on your skin? Short story, I was messing about with one of those things above my face as I was laying down on the bottom bunk of a bunk bed, and it broke above my face. Some landed in my mouth, some landed right here on my face, just under my eye. Would have been very, if I would have waited there another second, it would have gone in my eye. That was a chemical burn. It burned like crazy. And it tasted just awful. I think I threw it up. But yeah, it felt like that. But all over my cheeks, all the way up to my sideburns, all the way down my neck to my Adam's apple. It was bad. I had the water super cold. I don't know if that made things worse. It probably did. But it hurt a lot. And so I got out of the shower and I gingerly patted my face dry, as it hurt to touch still. And I finished getting dressed or whatever, and I looked at the bottle of Nair, and in retrospect I was like, I should have looked at the warnings, because it probably says don't do this. I turned it around, and the very first warning label in full bold letters, bigger than anything else, was do not use on your face. It mentioned some other regions not to use it as well. I'm sure that your imagination can fill in those blanks. But the very first thing, the very first bold letter warning, I mean, it might as well have had a flashing red light on the back, was do not put on your face. Yeah, it was an issue. Thankfully, the burning only lasted for another 3 days, and it hurt to take a shower every last one of those 3 days. So, you know, it all ended up okay. I told my mom. Told my mom about it. She hasn't recommended Nair to anyone else since. Thank you guys for watching this story time. I'll catch you in the next one.